it is God here, and I gotta say, I'm getting really pumped up with this series, with Blue Lock. With each episode, makes me yes, keep going, keep going. I love the faces, the deranged look they have on their eyes, that instinct, and in this case, with the monster inside you, the conversation between Bachira and Isagi. Also, see a bit more, learn a bit more about Blue Lock. See, Ego Jinpachi is not the only one responsible or behind that. The next week, things are definitely gonna get interesting. We finally have a proper match this week. Also, some testing, new rankings. So yeah, I'm really liking the series quite a lot so far. Reminds me with how I was watching Kuroko, and I hope it's gonna go in that direction where you get to see some insane skills, because it definitely has that instinct, those looks, that killer thing that you see in some sports anime. So let's get into it and talk about it. Now, the beginning of the episode, we see this boardroom meeting talking about how Japanese football is not that good. It needs something more to focus on the World Cup. And we finally get introduced to the person basically behind this entire Blue Lock project, being Thierry Henry, a girl. And I gotta say, her name really reminds me of Thierry Henry from Arsenal, from way back in the day, when I was very hooked into football, following everything. As soon as I heard her name, I instantly thought about him. But yeah, she seems very obsessed and passionate about doing more. This is her dream, seeing Japanese football evolve. And she thinks that Ego Jinpachi is the key to form this hero, somebody that can push the Japanese football, soccer, however you wanna call it, forward. I hope we're gonna find out more about her. I'm very interested in her history, and I like how blunt she is, how direct she is, especially when she was fighting with that old dude there that was thinking just about the money, and should just put him in his place instantly, risk it all for on Ego Jinpachi. So she definitely has a lot of faith in him. So there's something more going on between them. There's a history there, which I hope we're gonna get to explore more. Now, after that scene at the beginning, it picks up right from previous episode, with Kira being in complete shock with what happened. And Isagi also, he didn't really knew what he did, how he did it. Both of them in shock, but for different reasons. Kira got his face smashed, and Isagi basically won that game, so to say, there. And yeah, they were in disbelief, to say the least. And Ego with the slow clap. I really like Ego so much. The way he was talking throughout the episode, I really like a character like that. And I think they have their own catchphrase now. When Ego told him, Kira, lock off, as in fuck off. You are disqualified. And yeah, we see a bit more of the real Kira, so to say. Throwing a tantrum would be an understatement. Very frustrated, angry, mad, compared to his usual calm, nice, very polite, well spoken individual we have seen in previous episodes during the interviews. Very helpful. But I feel now we kind of see a bit more of the real Kira. And Ego, again, he steals the show for me every time he talks. I love him. He broke down every argument that Kira had against that exercise. This room is too small, this is too much, the tag exercise didn't have any problem. Hey, this is the penalty area, you are useless. He was breaking down every single argument he was bringing there, and even made a really good point, focusing on the entire series, telling him, you still had 1 second there after you got hit. A true striker would have fought to the very end. And yeah, it's all about Ego. Gotta be obsessed, passionate about it. Gotta go at it even to the bitter end. And Isagi did that. Bachira did that with the past, but he basically accepted defeat at that moment. And that entire conversation, I like how Ego was just bitch slapping him with words at every argument he had there. Now, even Kira didn't take that well, to say the least, and I think we're gonna see more of him. I have a feeling he's gonna try to mess around with Blue Lock and especially with Isagi, because he definitely blames Isagi, especially after that face he made there, that complete utter rage, the look he gave at Isagi. Meanwhile, Isagi was just, why did I kick the ball? What happened? But also you see the instinct slowly waking up in him. Even though he doesn't fully understand what he did in that moment, he was very pumped, probably rushing full of adrenaline, and he enjoyed that. Hopefully they're gonna explore more and more about that feeling, and thanks to Bachira, we see that a bit more explored. Even Isagi asking him, why did you pass it to me? Because Bachira actually did pass it to him. Bachira saying, I knew you would hit it, and I trusted that you would. And yeah, we're gonna have come back to that a bit more between Bachira and Isagi. After that, we see that they passed. This was just the admission exam for Blue Lock. They're gonna start living together. 11 of them work together, betray each other, be rivals, wreck each other's dreams. So it's like a survival team, so to say. Not really teammates, but more like rivals working towards the same goal. And apparently they are Team Z, which we find out later on about the rankings and how Blue Lock works a bit more. But before that, we see their training starts, or a bit more tests. We find out this was the fitness tests, running, jumping test over here, and Isagi realizes he's outclassed behind some of the other people there. Kind of starts thinking about it a bit more. Are we gonna see him being pumped up at some point, breaking every fitness record? But who knows. Now we had showing how focused this Blue Lock project is. Even the food that they got from the cafeteria was based on ranking, so the higher you are, the better food you are getting over there. So yeah, this is definitely a survival of the fittest, would be an understatement to describe this entire show. And I think we saw Hinata a bit, or a character that looked like Hinata from Haikyuu stealing food from somebody else over there. Now, after that entire thing, we even see Isagi being very stressed, can't really sleep, always thinking on his mind with everything that has happened, and runs into Bachira. And this is where they explore a bit more about this ego and wanted to train a bit together. Now, the answer that Bachira gives him, why did you pass that ball to me, is there's a monster inside me. Saying, I think they're probably referring to that ego, that instinct. You see a bit of a flashback with Bachira during a match, thinking that his teammates were falling behind, wanting to do more and more. He didn't pass the ball and lost it. And you see this silhouette monster extending hand to him. So it's always about doing better, be better, do more, strike, be obsessed for victory, always ego. And apparently the monster inside him told him, pass the ball to Isagi. There's also a monster inside him. Now, are they gonna be just using it as a metaphor for instinct, or are we actually gonna see some sort of a monster inside them, sort of like their instinct taking a personification? That would be really nice, seeing something like that. Maybe a JoJo stand with football. I would love that so much. Hopefully we'll get to find out more about this, and I hope they go down the Kuroko basketball look. Make it this just way over the top, exaggerated, bring me Superman striking a ball to the moon. Just give me something like that. Would be the perfect series with all of the characters, the deranged individuals we have here. Would love for the series to go in that direction, not focus on the more realistic side, so to say, like we've had so many sports anime. Now, Bachira also saying he's very glad he met Isagi, and everything that he was saying, Isagi didn't really fully understand, saying it's nonsense, but also at the same time it made sense, or at least it clicked a bit to him. Didn't fully grasp everything that Bachira was saying, but slowly and slowly he started waking up that monster inside him a bit more during their training. But before they go anywhere further with that, they get interrupted by the results of the fitness tests and the new ranking after that test. We see that Igarashi is again the lowest ranked one, 275. Isagi is 274, and get some more explanation with how Blue Lock works. Apparently, there's 25 teams. There's still after that every team lost a player, so there's 275 players left. Igarashi being dead last again. Now we see that number 1 through 11, as in the highest rank ones, are team B. So that makes team Z the lowest ranked. So that says quite a lot. So they're the weakest out of the 300 that enter the Blue Lock. But also the way I kind of want to look at it, while 1 and 1 through 11 are the highest rank, probably the best player, they also get the better facility, better training environment, better everything. Kind of feel like Team Z also has the more potential to grow, more room for improvement, which I hope they're gonna take that look at how it starting from the lowest going to the highest rank. So the more you rank up, the better training you get, better food also. It's all about football or soccer, however you wanna call it, just pursuit of victory. And so starts this first selection. But before we get to that, we see that there's this new character we get introduced to, Itoshi, one of the best midfielders, and he stopped, or he got interrupted from playing in Japan from regulations, and he's also was doing an interview. And he has ego. To say he has an ego would be an understatement. He's a very egoist character. I'm sure Ego Jinpachi would love him. Now, what I want to talk about more Itoshi is that he's part of the 11 heroes of the world. So kind of like the elite 10, maybe from Soma, the captains from Bleach, or something like ranking. Some of them better ranked heroes, or maybe the new generation like One Piece is something similar to that. I hope we're gonna get to meet the other 10 also, but he also thinks that Japan football is not gonna amount to anything. They're not gonna get close to the World Cup. But this is where things got a bit more interesting, because he stumbles upon the press conference about Blue Lock being introduced to the Japanese world, and he saw the announcement. He witnessed what was being said there. And I really liked one of the reporters asking a question: is it okay to ruin the lives of 299 other persons for this one hero that is going to save the Japanese soccer? And Henry stole the show quite a lot, saying directly and bluntly, yes, 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 this is why we are here, to get this one hero to give us that edge, to finally push us over. We're really close there with our skill, but not quite there to near the other top teams. We need this one thing to push us forward, and we have to do everything for it. So I loved Henry during that interview. Now, before we finish that interview, we find out that the first selection was starting. It's gonna be a team of 11 forwards, basically. No, all of them being forwards, strikers there in Team Z. Ego made a really good point. When the sports, the football, the soccer, however you want to call it, started, it was just about scoring. It wasn't these complicated rules, positions, and everything like that. It was just based on instinct and putting the ball into the other team as many times as possible. This is not about teamwork, and we need one focusing on the basics, basically. Now, Andre again was winning that press conference, even though the reporters were booing. I was loving it, to say the least. And not just me, Itoshi also got very hooked at what Henry said, and we've seen him being very disinterested. I'm stumbling my words, sorry about that, about what was happening with the Japanese football. But after that, he got very interested into it, and pumped up. You see a bit of that monster waking up in him also. And the match is starting. We finally have Team X versus our Team Z. So next week we're gonna have some excitement, see some actual fighting in quotation marks, a bit of a tournament starting. And I'm having so much fun with the series. It has amazing potential, and I heard only good things. I'm loving the characters, the over-the-top faces, reactions, this ego pushing thing. I love it so far, and it seems to be one of the most fun type of series. I enjoy things like this. Is why I like overpowered characters. Just give me that crazy thing, and Blue Lock seems to check every box in that department and has a lot of potential. So I'm very excited for next week. I'm curious what you guys think about the series overall, about the first 2 episodes we have had so far, and especially if you're a source material reader. Let me know down in the comments below. And also anime onlys. Are you interested in the series, the concept so far, the characters? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Blue Lock. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.